As you can see, this is a joint session between ourselves at Vaboo and Kerfuffle to talk to you about how a customer rewards platform can propel your brand, reputation and business in 2023 and beyond. Specifically, this session is to talk you through our new free to sign up to platform and talk you through the kind of the benefits of the platform. We do have a paid for service, so I will highlight some of the differences as well for that. And then towards the end of the session, sort of take you through the next steps if you did want to set your business up with a rewards platform. So just fire into the slides, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of the platform as well for you during the session too.
Cool.
So who are Vaboo? What is Vaboo? We position ourselves as a rewards platform and marketplace for the property sector. So what does that actually mean? Kind of two things there, the platform and the marketplace. So the customer rewards platform is simply giving your customers access to offers, discounts, prize draws, giveaways from pretty much every national brand retailer in the country. In terms of the marketplace element, this is more for you to add content. So our clients are able to add content onto our platform. So products and services that you may already be promoting and generating revenue from, we want to help you get more out of those products and services. And it could also be other things like promoting local businesses within your area, or anybody you have a partnership with that perhaps helps you from a customer relationship perspective, partnership perspective, etc. So, and I'll talk you through that as well as we go through this session. We're trying, our goals are kind of threefold: to help your customers combat the cost of living crisis, improve your customer and brand engagement and give you that point of difference against your competition, and also help you generate additional revenue generating opportunities, which, as I say, could come from existing products and services that you're already working with, or potentially from the data that we will share with you as part of our service. As an organization today, we have around 200,000 people on our platform, predominantly from independent letting agents across the country, but we also do work with housing associations and developers in the build to rent space as well. Here's just a small example of some of the brands we work with, both in the agency space and the retail space. You'll see most of the retail ones when I flick over to the platform. But from an agency perspective, most of our clients are independent agents, 1 to 5 branches, but we do work with the likes of Leaders Romans Group as well, and all of the brands under their umbrella. And we do also have a partnership.
Just a question there, John. So you're dealing with some absolutely blue chip agents there, aren't you, in terms of both sides? You've got obviously leading agents, and then absolutely blue chip brands down there as well. How do there are obviously a lot of reward schemes out there. What makes you different in terms of of that element? Are you able to garner better deals, or are these the same as other ones out there? How does that work in terms of obviously these fantastic brands down there and the discounts you can get?
Yeah, so we're classed as a closed user group. So
Okay.
Other kind of free to access rewards platforms, when I say free to access, I mean by the general public.
Yep.
So yes, our platform is free for agents, but their customers can't have access to it unless their managing agent is a client of ours. So a free to use platform or any like cashback websites, etc. Typically, the offers are, in terms of discounts, are way lower.
Yeah.
They are not typically there for very long, weeks at the most.
Yeah.
Because pretty much everything we have on our platform has been there for years, let alone months. And yeah, so that the higher level of discount is available much through our platform.
So this is a route basically to get the very best deals out there. That's ultimately what this is about.
Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of the stuff that we have is kind of like instant discounts. And when you compare that to, say, a cashback website, for example, cashback websites, it takes a long time to receive the cashback, and the level of discount is typically a third of what the discounts that we would receive.
Okay. Well, Good, great. That's really, it's really important to understand the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of other differences as well, and obviously our service is you know the rewards piece is like the carrot that brings people to the platform, but actually what our service is about is our clients' brand and customer engagement and helping get that all important valuable data over time.
Cool, thank you.
No problem. So in terms of what a reward platform can do for your business, over the last 3 years, when any client has launched with us, we have seen an average 45% increase in customer satisfaction levels within 12 months of launch. And that is as measured by Net Promoter Score, which is something we are constantly monitoring in the background for you. And I'll come on to a bit more detail about that a little later on. The other thing that we do is generate revenue generating data. And our clients are telling us that they've either never had the data that we provide them before, or if they haven't had it as early in the customer journey as we provide it to them. So what we're enabling our clients to do is kind of be in pole position for the customer nurture journey, in particular when it comes to things like financial services. So for example, right now, one of the most valuable areas of data is with regards to renters in particular, potentially looking to become first-time buyers. Okay. So they tell us if and when they plan to buy, and that gives our clients the opportunity to pick the phone up and find out, what type of property they're looking for, etc., and then also have that conversation around financial services. And on average, our clients are getting this data 6 months before the tenant's probably even done anything about it. And that could also be data from landlords as well, who might be looking to buy or sell. And then more recently, towards the end of last year, at the request of many of our existing clients, we've enabled clients to put vendors and buyers onto the platform as well, because they want our help with customer engagement on the sales side of their business too.
That's a big change. That's a really positive one, though, isn't it? That in terms of being able to offer that out, that loyalty and that good feeling back from both sides of the business.
Absolutely. It's a bit early in terms of, how that data's looking, but our clients just, understand the benefits of, that longer term engagement on the sales side of the business. But yeah, it's all building nicely right now.
But look, you said it before, didn't you? Cost of living crisis doesn't just hit people in rentals, does it? It's hitting everyone across the board there. So there's that there's never been a better time, I would argue, than obviously being able to get this kind of rewards back for them.
Absolutely, yeah. The cost of living crisis is it is a good opportunity to add value to the customer proposition and help people save money. And the engagement levels that we're seeing right now are extremely high, both from number of agents that want to onboard, but also how quickly their customers start using the service.
And the thing that jumps out at me whenever you show these screens, John, is that these aren't names that I have to go Googling and find out who they are they? They're absolutely, they're absolutely household brands. You bounce from one logo to another, and you've just got, massive business after massive business. And what's fascinating they're not all in just one category, are they? They really are across the whole length and breadth of what people are spending money on.
Absolutely. I'm going to go into a bit more detail now about that. So what this page that you can see here is about is when any client launches with us, we encourage our clients to tell their customers that they're launching this rewards platform. At the end of the day, this is adding value to the customer proposition, but there's not really much point in launching unless you're going to tell your customers about it and regularly talk to customers about it within your day-to-day business, whether that's landlords that you have listings appointments with or tenants that you have viewings with as well, because it's a real nice point of difference against competition to say, when you become a customer of ours, we'll give you access to our rewards program, and as part of our premium service, agents actually get flyers that they can hand out during those meetings as well. But the first step is, in most cases, is getting some content on the agent's website. So we know that with smaller agents, sometimes that can be easier said than done. So we will always create a page when we build the platform in the first instance that agents can literally just take the URL and drop that into a tab on their website. And here is an example of that page where very short and sweet, to the point. You know, here's an idea of some of the brands that you can get access to. And what you'll see is this page could actually change on a weekly, if not daily basis, because we have a team of people that are talking to brands all the time. So you might come in, you know, in a few days' time, and the order of the brands might change because some new ones have been added to that top line, for example.
Yeah.
And from here, people will log in as well. Logins typically happen either direct from the agent's website or from the email comms that we send on a regular basis. And I'll show some examples of those in just a second. I'm going to log in, though, as a tenant. So clearly, you know, the foundation of the platform is offers, discounts, prize draws, giveaways, etc. So that is predominantly what people will see here. And then as we scroll down the platform, you can see the different categories of spend. We can add more categories of spend here for those that are on our premium service, as I say, whether that's local discounts or other products and services that they may already be offering.
Yep.
But as we scroll down the platform, we just break it down into various categories. So deals of the week, time of the year, new stuff that's come onto the platform. And then we have this whole section of reward cards, which is where you'll see mostly of the big brand retailers. What you'll notice as I scroll across here, this is just a small example of them, but what you'll notice is this upgrade button. And this is the primary difference between the free version of our platform and the premium version. So on the free version, if I just quickly scroll to the top, what agents' customers will get access to is the online offers. So again, numerous categories of spend, but these would just be online offers and discounts, potentially slightly shorter term in terms of availability than the reward cards. But under the reward cards, tenants can have access to numerous brands and retailers where they might want to get extra discount. On the premium service, you're pretty much doubling the number of discounts that are available. And a customer can access those either by upgrading, paying a few pounds a month on their own, or if the agent is on our premium service, that's already included. And today, you know, 95% of our clients are on the premium service because they get all the added features, which we'll go through later on. Finally, a couple more things to show you, the prize draws. So this is a really important part of what we do in terms of building up that data and driving that constant engagement. As you can see here, the top prize is that we pay somebody's rent each month. We very much position that as if the agent has done that. In order to enter the prize draw, users would answer 3 or 4 questions, typically around the renting experience, the service provided by our client and the agent, or about their general wants and needs as consumers, landlords, renters, etc. And then that data builds up nicely over time and is shared in great detail for clients on the premium service, but we also share some headline stuff on the free service as well.
And what sort of engagement do you get with that, John? Is that obviously it's hard to get people to do anything these days, given how time poor they are. Does that offer of the month's free? I mean, I've seen some of the videos. I think it was Paramount. I saw a fantastic video where one of their clients won the month's free, and of course, it was some of the greatest PR they'll be able to use that year. But in general, do you get people engaging with this on quite a good degree?
Yeah, I mean, we get thousands of people responding every month. So, I mean, in terms of what this is all about, this is about the data piece and the engagement piece. And when any client's customer wins the top prize of the month's rent, if I just flick over to this tab here, you can see examples of how clients are using that opportunity. And so we've had numerous clients, you know, get these giant checks and have the tenant come in and use it as a PR marketing opportunity. And as you go down our blog page here, you can just see, you know, so many examples of where clients have taken advantage of that. But recently we also added an additional 10 prize winners who get a £50 digital reward card to a retailer of their choice. And again, that's an opportunity for sharing on social media, etc. And the way that would work is in this section here, that there's a wallet, and we would just drop a reward card into this section here for a retailer that the user has requested.
And when you talk about those reward cards, John, are they digital cards? Are they actual cards? How does that work? I'm just trying to think in practice what actually goes on.
Yeah, so they're digital. They're all stored within this section, within the wallet.
Okay.
So when you're in a store, so when you're in Sainsbury's, for example, you would have a digital voucher worth X amount, and then at the till there'll be a QR code, and that would be your method of payment.
So you don't need to go around with wads and wads of literally plastic cards. That's all taken care of.
Now, that's how it used to work.
Okay.
But you don't have to do that anymore. And just kind of in this account section here, platform details enables clients to put in a customized message that customers will see, and then useful links. This is part of the premium service, but here you can see you can put social media links. But the most common one we see here is actually links to maintenance tools like FixFlow, etc. Just to maximize the usage of those tools as well, because they're great tools, but you've got to keep the visibility and awareness as high as possible in order to have them used.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So that's kind of a quick whirlwind tour of the platform itself. So anybody got any questions, feel free to drop those into the chat boxes. I'm just going to flick back to the slides.
And I've got a question, if you don't mind me saying so. One of the things that's always jumped out at me is that there's let's be really, really honest, the elephant in the room is that with a lot of agents, their relationship with their tenants, as you can see on review sites, can be absolutely, horrific. And that's quite often because the agent is getting shot as the message keeper. The landlord obviously might have had an issue with them, but they basically take it out on the agent there. The thing that I've loved about this, you mentioned there, first of all, you've got the relationship with all these 200,000 whatever tenants and everything else, but there are smaller signs, aren't there? You get huge engagement to those emails that you send out every month, don't you? In terms of obviously, here's the new offers, here's the new partners and everything else. And that shows a real willingness, a real enthusiasm for both the brand and what that can do for the agents. Just talk us through that element of it.
Yeah, I'll just flip back to the previous tab then. So yeah, we send weekly comms out, and here's an example of how they look. So they'll go out every week and it would say agent name rewards in the inbox, agent's brand on the actual email itself. And it would just reminding people about the offers and discounts that are on the platform, and reminding them also to enter the prize draws, etc. And our team take care of this, and they go out 4 to 6 times a month. The open rates are up to 50%. Click-through rates are 10-15% each week.
And sorry, just to put that into context, so anyone who obviously comes from a digital marketing thing, to get above 20% open rates is really considered quite good for a newsletter. To get above 2% engagement is 2 to 3% is there. So you are smashing those figures out of the park, aren't you? At a time, let's be honest, when email marketing is suffering because there's so much congestion in that inbox.
Exactly. As I said before, the offers and the discounts, that's the carrot that gets people to the platform. And then because it's all in the agent's brand, it creates positive engagement. But just on what you were talking about in terms of like the reviews piece and feedback, obviously we're getting a lot of feedback. We don't call it reviews, but it's kind of the same from every user that is using their account is giving feedback on various things, including the agent service and what they think about the agent. And what we have shown many clients is that actually they're doing a really great job, and they should have more confidence when it comes to asking for reviews. We had a client recently had less than 10 Google reviews, and when they saw the data and feedback we provided, it gave them a load of confidence to actually reach out. And within 2 months, they had over 100 reviews.
And people watching this, many people will know from a review reputation point, as I was talking about before, is some people have closed down their lettings review or separated it from the sales operation simply because that can sometimes become so toxic. So this is one of the only providers I can think out there that offers a route to actually improve that materially almost overnight.
Yeah, hopefully. And, you know, over time, people are asked their opinion again as well. And actually something we're working on currently is functionality whereby if somebody has left, you know, a positive bit of feedback, we can then ask them a question, you know, are you happy to kind of make this into a Google review or whatever the agent is using? And if so, here's the link to do so. Something we're working on right now. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be ready, but, you know, hopefully not too far into the future. But all of this ultimately is valuable data that builds up over time. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the big pieces of value right now is with regards to what we call buyer data.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been really interesting over the last 6 months, because up until about August, September last year, around 11% of our user base of renters was suggesting that they were going to be purchasing a property in 2023.
Yeah.
But that shot up to 18% now in a period where interest rates have gone up, obviously, numerous times.
What do you put that down to, John?
Well, it's hard to say, but my personal belief is that, you know, you've got a lot of people there wanting to buy a property, and actually the rapid increase in interest rates is making them think, I better get on with this before it becomes out of reach.
Okay. That whole FOMO element, then, fear of missing out, is driving people to move. Yeah,
you know, and I think, you know, I think that's kind of the way things are happening right now. I've over the weekend reading actually a lot of positive reports about the market and people, you know, actually being really busy this year. And I think in particular for the first time buyer market, it's actually going to be, I believe, a bumper year. So that is data that we gather. In terms of the overall benefits of the rewards platform, as I mentioned earlier, you know, the point of difference is absolutely key. And when we first fully launched the business in 2019, really that was the main reason agents were coming on board. You know, they wanted that point of difference against their competition, something tangible that showed they cared about the long-term customer relationship from all customer types. But fast forward to now, when we've got this fantastic data capabilities, clients still want that point of difference, but more so they're also wanting to increase their prices. You know, as somebody who has only ever given money to agents, I've never been one. You know, I have to be brutally honest and say I think all agents should be charging more for what they do, both on sales and lettings. And it's fun, you know, it's all well and good wanting to or putting your fees up, but you've got to add value, I think, in the process as well. So a lot of clients are using our service for that. Clearly, it's a long-term customer retention tool as well. And we hope to help increase the lifetime value of a customer by providing these additional revenue opportunities through the data. And we also want to help agents drive referrals. So part of the feedback we even give with the free version is we highlight which customers are the promoters when it comes to Net Promoter Score. You know, these are the customers that agents should be leaning on for referrals and reviews and things. So we do want to help agents build those brand advocates. But like you and I both know, Simon, you know, with a primary factor of a lot of tech is about saving people time, because you know, any of our clients can do customer engagement in their own way, in their own time, but to do it really, really effectively is a full-time job. You know, we have had many agents who've tried to do it on their own and come back to us when they've realized that. But, you know, at the end of the day, agents can choose to do this themselves, or they can choose to use a platform like us, which automates it in a very cost-effective manner.
But it works out of the box, isn't it? The thing I love about this is with you sorting it out and everything else there, they can get running with it. They can stand out from almost everyone else on their high street instantaneously. And you know, the messaging here is improving customer service, you know, cost of living crisis benefits, everything else there. There's just so much there for obviously to people to pick from, that if you can't find a way of differentiating yourself, it's interesting your colours are purple. Seth Godin, the marketeer, talks about being the purple cow, doesn't it? How to stand out from the crowd. That is exactly the secret sauce we're talking about here.
Yeah, and I think the industry as a whole has got a big opportunity to kind of think more long term about the customer relationship rather than being so transactional.
Yeah.
And that, it's clear in most industries that is, if you have that mindset, it can only lead to positive things and business growth.
Yeah.
So how does the free platform actually help people? So I've obviously explained what you get in terms of it's branded, the comms are branded, and access to, less, but still a large amount of offers and discounts for customers, as well as access to the prize draws. But what we're going to do, within 3 months of launching on the free version, so we're gathering this net promoter score data in the background. We will report back to our clients and give them a breakdown of how their customers currently sit. So promoters, as we know, are customers who should be lent on for referrals and reviews, etc. Yep. Detractors are the ones that perhaps don't love clients so much, and actually what they're saying is potentially more important to highlight any gaps. And then passives are those that are sitting on the fence who still need attention because they could go one way or the other. But this is all really, really vital information to understand. And what you can actually see there, those numbers are a breakdown of the agents that we've launched on our free version so far over the last few months. So you can see that there's a fair bit of work to be done by some of those agents, and hopefully they're now getting on top of that data as they upgrade to our premium service. So what we will do is we'll share this overview with you on the free service. If any clients would like to know who the people are behind these numbers and exactly what they're saying, that's when they might consider upgrading to the premium version. Yeah. And the second thing we're going to share is the buyer data. So, how many customers do you have that are thinking about buying a property, and when? So as you can see there, reference to the previous slide, 18% suggest they're buying within the next year. So when you upgrade to the premium service, you'll know exactly who those people are, so you can reach out to them and make those phone calls and start that nurture journey.
And that's absolute gold dust what we're looking at there, though, isn't it, John? Realistically, as you said, this is and why it's useful for anyone, but given that you will almost certainly be getting this ahead of the curve of other people, there puts their financial services department at a distinct advantage, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, no question about it. In fact, many, if not most people that we speak to, agents that we speak to who have significant financial services revenue, they've actually never really focused on the rental population as a source of leads.
Yeah.
So this not only is a new source of leads potentially, but hopefully grow their business significantly this year.
And positioned properly, of course, this is it shouldn't be seen as a negative. It's an absolute service, isn't it? Can we help you out with that? With your next stage, with buying that property? That's got to be really positive.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, it's also making the agent more prepared for when that a tenant is potentially going to be moving on. So in a landlord's eyes, they're showing that they're more prepared. They're in a great position to minimize any void periods, etc., etc. So landlords would actually be quite impressed by that, because if a tenant is going to leave, they're going to leave no matter what. They're going to buy a property because they want to buy a property. So yeah, a lot of our clients say that's really helpful to know that we've got an idea that somebody might be moving on far more than 2 months in advance.
Okay.
So why should our clients, or any client, trust Vaboo to help them with their customer engagement? So not only have we shown that we improve the customer satisfaction scores 45% within 12 months of launch, what's also important is what is the actual score, right? So on the Net Promoter scale, as I'm sure you know, Simon, but I'll quickly go through it now. The Net Promoter score, the scale goes from 0 to +100 and 0 -100. Incidentally, the last time a lettings industry survey was undertaken, the lettings industry as a whole scored -11. So yeah, clearly lots to be done. But in any business, monitoring Net Promoter Score, which really should be all businesses in all industries, no matter what size, a score of 20 or more, that's the point where you should be shouting about it in your marketing, both, face-to-face marketing and online marketing. 20 plus is when you can really start saying, we are great at customer service, customer satisfaction.
Yeah, that needs context, doesn't it, John? Because most people, and some people might not hear NPS, but it's that classic question, would you recommend to your friends and family and everything else there? 0 to 10, obviously 10 being the highest. And 20 is considered great. Above 50 is just absolutely exceptional. So what you're talking about here, in an industry that actually currently has a negative customer ethos, service ethos, you're punching that that average Net Promoter Score up. And McKinsey and Bain have proved this over decades, haven't they? Those companies with a higher Net Promoter Score have longer long-term profits.
Absolutely. I think the stat is that it leads to a doubling, a 12-point growth in Net Promoter Score leads to a doubling of a business's growth rate.
Which now makes it really, really clear why you've got the clients on board who you have, because those are like-minded companies who I know many of those really, really well, and personally have seen that obviously this is going to fit into their kit bag and aligns perfectly with what they're trying to do and everything else.
Absolutely. Yeah. So our average client score currently is 47. The likes of sort of BMW, Apple, etc., are only slightly higher than that.
Yeah.
So, everything is going in the right direction. We see the biggest impact, obviously, in the first year of launch, but then scores do continue to grow thereafter as well. So again, this slide kind of just talking about exactly what we've just said. Yeah, 12-point growth in Net Promoter Score typically leads to doubling the growth rate of a business. So if you're doing that, you're probably beating your competition at the same time. So we're coming to the end of the session here. Just in terms of the free version and the premium version again, you can see there that the kind of additional features that you get within the premium service. There's plenty of offers and discounts on the free service, but pretty much doubles the number and gets sort of bigger brand retailers, bigger level of discount on the premium service, and the engagement levels on the premium service from customers are obviously a lot higher, which means more data for our clients as well. But they can also add in, various features, including local businesses, etc., like I mentioned earlier. But also we do provide support when it comes to social media and PR, as well as quarterly and annual reports, which go into a lot more detail about that data. However, over time, a lot of the data is actually now becoming live within the platform. So currently the actual Net Promoter Score data and the feedback that comes with that, plus the buyer data, is actually all now live within the agent's page.
Yeah.
So in terms of the cost of the premium service, we typically charge £50 a month as a platform fee for single branch agents. And then most of the cost comes from the per user pricing, which you can see on the left-hand side. So that kind of reduces as the numbers increase.
And so, sorry, just so I'm really clear, because obviously my name, there's a clue in the name with Simple Simon. Users are the agency's own users. That's nothing to do with the tenants. The tenants always get it free.
No, so everybody gets it for free if they're on the free service. Yep. So just to clarify as well, we were born out of the letting space. So renters and landlords are currently the majority of people that are on the platform. But as I said before, vendors and buyers are welcome now too. Yep. And in addition, we also welcome agent staff onto the platform as well, as like a staff perk.
Oh, that's really good. So at this time of your shared cost of living, you're able to say to your staff, look, you've got these benefits as well.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah. We're not just staff, so we don't do it the other way around. We're not an employee benefits company, but as long as agents are using it in the traditional manner for their customers, staff are welcome on there too. Thanks. So if they're on the free version, every user type is free. If they want to upgrade for whatever reason to the premium version, there will be a cost for every user.
Yep.
Dependent on how many users there are, as per the box on the left-hand side there. Okay. And then, the primary advantage for the users when agents upgrade is that they get access to a load more offers and discounts, can save even more money. But for the agent, they get lots more features where they can, potentially generate additional revenue from products and services that they're already promoting. But the local businesses one is a really big one that's taken off in the last couple of years, in particular with the pandemic and a lot of our clients wanting to support their local communities, etc. So yeah, they can add businesses onto the platform and hopefully start driving referrals both ways.
So if you've got one of those ethoses, Mr. Chris Watkins talks about it all the time, being the digital mayor, owning your locale and everything else there. This is one very real way you can support those local businesses, get them on. So whether it's a local restaurant or whatever, deli, get them on board. And then obviously you would hope the quid pro quo is those guys will become big proponents of yours as well. And there's that halo effect of supporting each other.
Yeah, exactly. It could be an online offering as well. If, if there's a relationship there within the business. We're also trying to reach out to brands as well and kind of see whether there's any areas, and this is much further into the future, probably next year at the earliest, where we can actually generate commissions for agents as well. It's not, that's by no means what we're about as a service. We are a brand engagement service. But if we can help agents generate additional sort of revenue streams ourselves, then that is something we're currently looking at, and we've got various conversations going on. But first and foremost, our service is designed to help agents stand out from their competition and get a real understanding of who their customers are and what those wants and needs are going forward. In terms of getting on board, there's a URL there that you'll also receive in an email for anybody who's registered for this webinar. You'll receive an email after this session where you can just simply sign up. We don't ask loads and loads of questions. It's just literally some company details, and then we can have you on board fairly quickly. So step one would be...
Sorry, just on that, John. The onboarding, typically, how long does it take? Are we talking about weeks, days, hours? What does it look like?
So the answer is it can be done in days.
Okay.
Whether it's done in days or weeks tends to be more down to the agent and how organized they are. I'm just going to go through that now. So step one is completing that form. Step two, tell your customers about it. We will provide some email templates which you can send out to your customer base. Tell them you're launching this rewards platform because you love them so much and you want to help them, etc., etc. And that they should look out for what we call their activation or welcome email within the next 7 days, for example. Now, in order to get that welcome email out, the next step is the most important one. We need names and email addresses as a minimum. Within our terms and conditions, we cover the GDPR elephant, and that's all fully covered within our terms and conditions as a data controller and processor, as it should be on the agent side as well. And in all of our clients that we work with so far, we come under legitimate interest.
Yeah.
Any questions on that, we're happy to answer those, so feel free to reach out to us directly. But without that data, we simply cannot launch your platform. So don't complete step one unless you're ready to complete step three.
Makes sense.
So
and is it simple as doing it in a CSV or Excel spreadsheet? Is that how easy it is to do?
Absolutely, yeah. CSV, spreadsheet, whatever you want initially to get launched. Going forward, people can add customers manually or continue to send spreadsheets, weekly or monthly with their client success manager. But we also do have an API as well. So if any clients would like to implement that, then we'll provide all the details for that. Once we have that data, we can launch, and that is an almost instant process. The data would get uploaded, and on that day, within minutes of that data being uploaded, all customers will get those nice looking welcome emails in the agent's brand saying, welcome to our rewards platform. Click the link below to create your account and start using it today. And, we typically hit on the premium service, we typically hit a 45% activation rate within the first few months. Some clients do that within the first few weeks. Some clients get over 80% activation. The difference between those that get 80 and those that get 45 is purely and simply how much the agent talks about it on their side.
Okay.
So do they put content on their website? Do they mention it in meetings, etc., etc.? That is the difference. On the free version, when we launched this in November, we thought the initial engagement rates might be a little lower because it's the free version and there's less stuff.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not dramatically lower. It's still over 35%. So
still, those are still stellar opens, aren't they? I mean, and everything else in terms of that's amazing engagement.
Yeah, and we're constantly working on it going forward as well. So we guarantee to get anybody launched within 30 days. It could be within 7 if they're super organized. And it also benefits us as well if people are launched within 30 days. So what we're also doing is giving all agents up to 20 free premium staff accounts if they are launched within 30 days.
So there's a driver to do it. So to get literally all that kind of the fantastic top benefits and everything else.
Yeah.
Just
so
get everyone on the same page, and you'll give them those staff accounts.
Exactly. So if you're a single branch agent with less than 20 staff, you're effectively getting free employee perks.
Cool.
So yeah, that is pretty much it. I just check if there was any questions.
Can I just ask a couple of questions while you're just looking at that, John? Because it's like there was on one of those pages where you said why. Am I being a bit glib? If I'm being really honest, why not? Why would you possibly not do this? Because you've got the ability. If you were me, and I'm always somebody who goes out and sees shiny things and does it, I'd go straight for the premium option and I'd go in there. But people don't have to do that. They don't have to be like me and go on a gut feel and everything else. They can test the water completely with that free option there. The only thing that I suppose the only why not is, you've got to do some work in terms of these steps to get it on board, isn't it? Just to get things going.
Yeah. The steps to launch, whether it's free or premium, are exactly the same. We do get clients who just totally get it. They see the premium benefits. They can see that they're going to value that data. So why not just kick off on premium? We do offer a discount on the pricing that I showed earlier for those clients that do come straight on board on premium, which will be discussed, during the onboarding process. But yeah, in terms of why not on the free service, I can't think of a single reason why people wouldn't go ahead, to be honest with you. They're helping.
We have to concede. We have to concede. We're both a little bit biased on that point.
Well, we are, but at the end of the day, you're giving people access to offers and discounts which are going to save them money, and in particular right now with the cost of living crisis. Who doesn't want that? And if they want even more, then either they get that through the agent being a premium customer, or they themselves paying a few pounds a month to get access to stuff which is going to save them hundreds of pounds a year, if not more.
Yeah, really.
So I can't think of a reason why people wouldn't go ahead on the free service.
And on the premium one, I imagine you've got a fantastic team. I've seen, I've worked with you guys for some time now. They can check in with you to understand what does best practice look like. What other clients are doing to get the most out of the platform. I take it that's as read, really.
Yeah, absolutely. On the premium service, they have dedicated client success manager. They can ask questions to at any time. As I say, as standard, additional reports with a lot of detail, including things like word clouds, are provided. So a lot of clients love those word clouds, which show a lot of positivity. They use it within their websites, within social media as well. But at the end of the day, if they've got any specific question at any time, they can reach out to their client success manager. If they're lucky enough and that one of their customers is a prize draw winner, we also help with PR and writing articles for a local magazine, which a lot of clients have had success getting stuff into as well. So there's a lot more support on the premium side as well.
Well, it's going on with saying, look, we're really, really keen to follow a few of the people through getting set up on this as case studies. We really want to monitor it. So we're encouraging anyone, obviously, to talk to John and his team here, and we'll work with you to try and get the best out of it. So I think it's been fascinating learning about it. I've always been, obviously, a big fan, but I think it's a game changer to be able to get on board with this. There's a lot of work that goes into this from your side, of course, but for you to see that big picture and to offer it out there is really, really good for the industry.
Yeah, it's kind of win-win all round, because we got to a point last year where we hit a user base which we noticed was helping us getting more and better discounts.
Yeah.
So we created the free version just to continue to grow the user base, because it will help us get even more going forward. You know, our 95% of our customers, most of our, you know, our revenue model is from the premium service. So, you know, it's kind of a win-win all round there. We get clients interested in the premium service, but for those that don't upgrade, that's absolutely fine, because they're helping us grow our user base, which helps everybody, because we'll get better offers and discounts going forward, and all elements of the service will grow, including the prize draw piece as well.
Excellent. Really, really good.
Cool.
Okay, John, thank you so much for taking the time today. Obviously, those people who have attended, thanks very much. We'll send you out the information. We'll share this with our wider Kerfuffle family as well, following up on there. So for today, John, thank you very much.
Great. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Cheers.